Hello viewers, Liquid12A here, reviewing a new shooter indie for the Nintendo Switch, Crimsonland. As per our disclosure policy, we are making it known that this review was made possible by publisher 10 Tons, who provided us with a review copy. So without any further ado, let's suit up and go and kill the hordes of monsters ahead of us. This game has no plot whatsoever. You are someone, presumably a soldier, somewhere, and you kill stuff. Monsters and goblins and whatever. They want to kill you. So, go grab a gun and get to it. It's kind of like the original Doom in that sense, but even that game has a bit more sophisticated lore. Some historical precedent is needed before we continue. Crimsonland is a game from 2003, remastered for 2017. This means that while it bears a striking resemblance to another previously reviewed game on this channel, Jidge, Crimsonland has it beat by a decade or so. So look at this in essence as Jidge 0.5. Crimsonland is a top-down twin-stick shooter where the aim of the game is eliminating hordes of enemies before they eliminate you. The way this happens across each stage is simple. When you begin, you start with a weak pistol. Killing the first enemy guarantees a weapon drop for something stronger, and later enemies may also drop random weapons as well. This happens more as you progress through the campaign and unlock these weapons. Not one weapon at your disposal is useless, and all of them have a particular niche with select strategies, which leads us into the next point, perks. Killing enemies fills an experience bar in each stage, and when it fills, you level up and are rewarded with one perk per level up, which can be such things as increased damage, reload speed, firing speed, or perhaps slower enemy movement or more frequent power-up drops. The catch, though, is that your options are randomized every time, so no two playthroughs of the same level will be identical. This adds some improvisation strategy into the mix, as you have to make do with what you're offered and gain the next perk quickly. Naturally, this random aesthetic results in a high amount of replayability, where the mid-level combinations can be endless, and with the dozens of perks and weapons available to you, this makes killing the hordes absolutely enjoyable. This doesn't mean the game is mindless, however. You need to pay attention and think through your upgrades carefully lest the enemy hordes bring you down every single time. Like the engaging non-existence of the plot, there's little to say about the presentation. Imagine Jidge with the original Doom's color palette, and arguably more gallons of blood. The backgrounds could have been a bit stronger, but at the same time, this is a very old game, so it gets somewhat of a pass in this area. The music is pretty weak, but that's mostly owing to the sound mixing. I failed to realize it was there most of the time beyond the level end jingles, so that could have used some work. Crimsonland is not a bad game. It's enjoyable, but at the same time it's hard to recommend over Jidge, which boasts incredible replayability and a more inviting aesthetic with very similar mechanics. Crimsonland's most notable draw over Jidge is the 4-player co-op play, which gives it a particular niche in the arcadey shoot-'em-up, like some games from the 80s. Crimsonland boasts enough campaign levels and modes to keep you entertained for a good while if running solo, at the very least. If you can afford to get both, play Crimsonland first, as it's a spiritual predecessor to Jidge, but if you can only get one, Jidge is far, far more worth the investment. And with all that said, I am giving Crimsonland a 3.5 out of 5. Let us know what you think of this game if you buy it below. Make sure to like the video if you want to see more, and subscribe to Source Gaming for more news and reviews straight from the source. I am Liquid12A, signing off.